Do we have too much pressure on children to win at all costs when it comes to sport? 0845 6060 973 is the number to call. Can't wait to hear your stories. Let's talk now, though, to Dan Abrams, who's a sports psychologist. Thanks for joining us, Dan.
Hi, Julia. How are you?
Very well indeed. Now, is it true that this is getting worse? Because I was under the impression that we weren't encouraging children to be competitive enough.
I don't think it's getting worse. I think it's always been there. But let me give you a piece of research that's been done recently by the Football Association. They actually went out and they interviewed the people that matter the most, the young people, the kids. They interviewed 50 groups of 10-year-old footballers. And they asked them, why do you play football? And the answers coming back weren't because we want to win, we want to win the league, we want to beat everybody. The answer was, firstly, want to have fun. Secondly, we love playing the game. Thirdly, want to play with teammates. What this means, we need better coaching cultures that firstly help young people, that help kids have fun in their sporting environment. Secondly, places where they can actually learn, where they can learn skills. Once you've got those two in place within your coaching culture, then and only then should we be looking at competitiveness. But that's not to say that we get rid of the competitiveness, but that comes third behind fun and learning.
Well, indeed. I mean, certainly for me, sport was very much more a kid around fun than anything else, because I was no use to anyone. I was the sort of person who, because I was tall and I looked like the sort of person who should be good at sport. The PE teachers would look at me very hopefully each time I arrived in their class, and then within about 20 minutes realised that I was a hopeless case and ignore me. But in terms of these sort of, does this pressure come from, is it from the sports teachers? Is it from the other kids in the classroom? Is it from the pushy parents? Or is it from this sort of lack of sportsmanship that we see in top level sports now, particularly Premiership football?
I think it's a complex landscape. I don't think there's any one particular source. I mean, certainly dealing with youth sport, I was a professional golfer. I played professional golf, and I've worked as a coach within professional golf, and now I work predominantly in football.
You're just rubbing it in now, aren't you, Dan?
No, well, not at all. But
do you know what you just said to me? You know what I heard while you were speaking? I heard, I'm good at sport. No.
Well, I can tell you categorically, I was probably the world's worst professional golfer.
Oh, thank you.
Hence why I'm a sports psychologist today. But I think the landscape is complex, and working across a range of sports and youth sports, sometimes I deal with pushy parents. I help clubs deal with pushy parents. I'm often upskilling coaches, coming back to that fun, learning, and then competition process. And absolutely, we do have to look at the role models today, the footballers diving, cheating. But then, to reframe that, I think that as coaches, as parents, we have to point at those incidents and say that these are learning experiences. This is how we can help guide our child. Of course, our young players are going to look at their role models and say, well, I want to do that. But that gives us an opportunity to guide them in a different direction, perhaps.
But then there is something good about winning. We all know that we say, anyone who's got a child will know those moments when they've actually won something, and you bask in their glory. You feel dead chuffed that they've done well, and we all know that winning is more fun than just taking part and coming second, third, or last. And we want to encourage our children to do their best and to work hard. Where do you draw the line? Particularly, little lesson here for the bushy parents out there. I probably am one of them. Where do you draw the line between encouraging and developing that sort of driving spirit, because the world is competitive, and drawing the line between, well, I suppose going over that line into cheating?
And absolutely, please don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely not saying that we should get rid of competitiveness or winning and losing. In fact, I'm a great believer in that sports for young people offers a great blueprint for life. Life consists of outcomes, and it offers a child the opportunity to be able to deal with adversity, deal with success and failure. It very much is an art, and it's not an exact science, unfortunately. It's shades of grey, but what I would say is it's about helping young sports people to win in the right way. to win in the right way. And if I was to draw from my own work, I'm working with a Premier League academy, and we recently went on tour to a tournament in Europe. And I actually put the onus, myself and the coaches put the onus on the players. This was an under-14 team. What do you guys as a team, as a group, want to get out of this? And we set down three things, and one of them was we want to win. That's why we're there. So, of course, that's part of it. The other two were, having fun, enjoying it, and the other one was learning, improving our skills. They're not going to be professionals, or they're not going to give themselves the best chance to be the best they can be without having it as a learning experience. So winning is involved, but there must be fun and there must be learning.
And let's face it, it's a lot more fun when you're winning. Dan Abrams, thank you so much. Really appreciate you joining us. He's a sports psychologist. Much appreciate your time.